a man who has been bringing us the news in various forms in Perth for, he's into his 45th year.
Amazing.
Michael Thomson from Channel 9.
Good morning.
Morning, Michael.
Good morning, guys. Great to be here. 45 years.
It is.
Doesn't feel like 45 years. It doesn't.
It has flown.
Yeah, it's gone so quickly.
Well, you've done a lot. You've been busy.
Yeah. It's sort of, and I'm quite humbled. Nine's made a promo, and you have a look back, and it's think, wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it this one?
Remember that?
Oh, it takes me back.
Yeah.
It takes me back to about the time you started, probably.
Yeah.
So,
1980.
1980. I'm looking through some of your photos here. Geez, mate, you haven't changed a bit.
no, you
I
haven't.
have.
Although the ties are a bit thicker. There's a thin tie from the late 80s right there.
Yeah.
That's how you timestamp a photo by the...
There's
The
always a
hair.
lot of hair there.
The
sort
hair
of,
hasn't got any thinner.
No, I've been lucky
That's
there.
impressive.
There's a bit of a mullet era as well.
Yeah, well, everyone had their mullet era, even me. So 45 years you're celebrating. Where did it begin? Where were you before 9?
I was at the Daily News, which was the afternoon newspaper.
Daily
News, final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Daily newspaper. There were 6 newspapers in Perth back then. And
Yes.
Herald and Weekly Times owned the West Australian, the Daily News, the Weekend News, Countryman. So I worked there for the first 7
There'd
years.
be 2 versions came out.
Yes.
In that. I mean, that's how...
And then you'd have a special late version. The Daily
Yeah.
News used to get the big overseas stories, so the Kennedy
Yeah,
assassination, John
yes.
Lennon and things like that. And it was a cadetship. I had to learn shorthand, typing. There were no mobile phones, no
Do you remember
computers.
any of your shorthand?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because my mum
Absolutely.
can still remember it
Yeah.
from, the days when she did it as a secretary.
Yeah. Maria Gabor was our teacher. She was
Okay.
a tough lady who we loved, but she was really, really tough. And so that was a skill. It was
Like
like an
Zsa Zsa
apprenticeship.
Gabor.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
It's like an apprenticeship. So you did your court rounds. You went out
Yes.
to learn about crime, sport, the council round, the medical round, hospitals.
Yeah.
It was a great way to learn the skills of being a
Because,
journo.
of course, you were a crime reporter for a while there.
I was. I wanted to get into sport. I finished my cadetship and I was really into sport. And then before I left the Daily News to go to Channel 9 in 1987, I wanted to get out of sport. So I started to do some crime work,
Yeah.
crime reporting with Kim Murray, Paul Murray's brother at the Daily News. Then when I went to 9, I went as the crime reporter. And I did that for about 4 or 5 years and I loved it. And I just
Yeah.
felt it was better to broaden my horizons and not
Yes.
just be stuck in sport. I love sport, but it was
yeah.
great. And there was a lot of things happening. So there were 6 newspapers, but the 6 o'clock news was becoming a real powerhouse around the world. And that was a very exciting time as well because there was the live element was something very
Because
different.
that's where you went to get the pictures of
Yeah.
the news because there was no scrolling back in those days. It's everyone sat down at 6 to watch their news.
And if you didn't get
of
the
choice.
pictures, so with the phone now and security pictures, cameras that are there, you don't miss much. You get
You don't.
pictures, and in some ways, head-on collisions, freeway cameras. You're seeing
Everything's-
things that we never saw.
No, that's right. Everything is caught.
So it's changed dramatically, and also getting pictures out. Like we were talking about Augusta off air about a whale rescue and how
Yeah.
we had to fly the helicopter back to Bunbury and send our pictures from GWN. Well, now you've just got a small
just
dish
there.
which can
They're
and
there.
And
it's
of course,
instant.
all the TV channels used to have a chopper back in the day. None of them
Absolutely.
have them anymore. Are there any?
We
does
share
any-
one, Channel 7
Oh,
and
okay,
Channel
you do
9.
have
We share
You
one.
pull
You
together.
share one now. Okay. I remember
Which-
when you
will
both
you
had
fight
one
over
at
the
back
keys?
there. Yeah.
The accountant said this is costing, and we thought
That's
this cannot
cool.
work, but it does work. It works, and
It does.
it's a great chopper, and we get some amazing pictures from it. But even there, drones are getting you've got to embrace the
Yeah.
technology. I feel like in some ways I'm
Yeah.
a bit of a dinosaur, but it's made our job so much easier.
I remember those days, those early days as when you were a crime reporter and we would go to the police rounds every morning
Yep.
at police headquarters for the,
Yep.
the morning press
Briefing,
the
yep.
briefing of what's
Yes.
happened because that's how we got our information. We went to media conferences
Yep.
and there was such a great camaraderie with everybody and
was.
I loved it.
I did too, and
Yeah.
you got to know. Do you know when I started at the Daily, the West Australian newspapers had their own office at police headquarters,
Yeah.
which was dialed into the police system. So you go in there, and Cyril Ellis was the crime
Yes.
reporter for the West back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cyril and Kim Murray, and I remember going down when I was shadowing Kim. And they said, oh, such and such, there was a murder. And on the phone in the office was homicide. Press the button. Boom. They go, hello, yep. Look, just come straight up.
Yep.
So there was we didn't need any ID or anything. We just went up the lift into homicide. Very different era. And there's a real trust era back then because there wasn't Channel 10 back then.
No.
So it was the West Australian, the Daily News, 7, 9, ABC, and a couple of radio stations.
You and Alison Fan.
Fan back there, gosh.
And newsrooms had scanners.
Yeah.
They used to have scanners in the newsroom, and you'd be listening in on the police channels.
Everything. And we'd chase them everywhere.
Yeah, and you'd hear some weird stuff on a Friday afternoon on those scanners too, because it picked up people's car phones.
Yes,
exactly.
Which was still new at the time.
Yeah.
Which were new.
So, Michael, 45 years. What an achievement, especially in the media industry.
Thank you very much.
Anything that you haven't achieved yet that you still want to tick off your bucket list?
It's a good question. I'd love to see the Dockers win a flag.
You want to read that story?
Can you make that happen?
That's one that's been hanging there that I'd really like to do. I think that would be fantastic. It's a changing times in media.
Very
changing
so.
times. Would love, from a selfish point of view, to see 9 and 7 have been a dominant figure at 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
The gap has closed significantly in recent years. I'd love to be a part of something where it gets really, really close and we could. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last bulletin. But that would be something I'd love to see. But it's been a blast. I've been so lucky. I genuinely feel. It's a privilege to read the news. I still get a real buzz out of it, and I think I'm pretty lucky.